Hi, this is Arun from arunsyoga.in. I'm a software engineer who mostly work with Node.js, PHP, and other backend technologies. And I'm an open source contributor as well. I'm a tantric by birth in a family which is passing tantric wisdom from generations to generations from past 2000 years of legacy and got lucky to travel across India and got chances to study under various gurus from different backgrounds and disciplines. You could connect with me in arunsyoga.in. Here I'm helping you to design a divine lifestyle which is based on Vedic astrology, tantra and other yogic system of understanding. Hello and welcome to another episode of Vedic Reading Series. So today we have a guest. His name is Anthony Hoyes. He is the lead singer for the metal band VORZUG. He is the former head of legal for Fortune 500 financial company. He also worked for Universal Music Group and Sony Music as an HR consultant. He is now a conspiracy researcher, and on today's podcast, he is discussing about flat earth theory, aliens, and other non-ancient religions along with his chart as well. So let's begin our Vedic reading series, episode number 20, Flat Earth, Aliens, Jesus, and Shiva. Hello. So, welcome to my podcast series. It's basically a Vedic reading series. I reach out people across, and I would help them to understand their um, birth chart, basically, which is based on the Vedic understanding of the self and things like that. And I'm particularly interested in your a podcast series because in Vedic understanding we believe the earth is actually a globe, and you are trying to say that the earth is a flat. And on the top of that you are coming out with a lot of conspiracy also. So what are you trying to say about that? Whether what you believe whether the earth is flat or globe?
100%, it is not a globe. In terms of it being flat or not, I don't know the shape of the Earth, but I know it's not a globe. And that is testable, provable by following the scientific method. And yeah, it's definitely not a globe. So our purposes today, I say it's flat.
So why do you say it is a flat earth?
Well, again, every ancient cosmology, including the Vedics, I don't know exactly where you're getting your information, but Vedic cosmology is a cosmic egg type of theory where there is a flat plane and then the torus fields above us, making a egg dome type thing. That's the ancient cultures. Every ancient culture has that. The Bible has it. Every ancient text has a ancient flat Earth cosmology, and again, scientifically provable. They claim that the Earth is 24,901 miles in circumference at the equator. That would mean a curvature calculation of 8 inches per mile squared. And that's you don't see curvature. There is no curvature. You can never see it. No matter how high you go, you'll never be able to find it. And we can see too far, and verifiably, we can prove that there is no curve.
So according to the Vedas, it's actually not flat. There is nowhere it is saying it's a flat actually. Uh, as per the Indian understanding, the earth is not flat. So there is a story, like if we seek into the Puranas, what we say it's called Puranas. It's a sub part of the Vedas. Like Vedas is being said, and for people to more able to understand the Vedas more better, they made stories on the top of Vedas. On one of the story, which is like the 10 avatars of the Vishnu, he is the Lord according to the ancient belief. The Vishnu is the Lord. He take avatars wherever there is dharma is going down and adharma is coming up. He takes avatars, and in that thing he took an avatar. It is a kurma. It's like kurma means it's a pig actually. So he took the shape of the pig and take the earth on his the structure, like pigs are like this thing on their nose. So he took the earth, it's like a ball on the nose, and took it out from the you know a sea, an ocean, which is actually made up of made out of milk. So in the stories it's saying is earth is not actually flat, and the entire system of the astrology, which is also known as the eye of Veda. I mean, it's an anga. Anga means it's a part of Veda, and eye of Veda. Eye of Veda means it is that the uh, um, uh, whatever Vedas are saying, that can be seen through astrology. So in astrological understanding, we actually see earth as we don't see earth as a flat thing.
Okay. I've actually not heard that, but this is fascinating to me. I'm happy to listen.
So is that you are trying to say the earth is flat, and how do you prove it? Like, are you trying to say the earth is flat, or are you trying to say earth is something else?
Well, again, sir, I mean, scientifically you can prove it. Go outside. There has to be a curvature if the earth is a globe. Where is the curvature? That right there proves that there is no curve. You can scientifically prove, you can see for miles beyond the horizon where you're supposed to be able to see. If the earth is a globe like they claim, you would not be able to see that in any way. Every scientific test ever done, they like to say it proves the globe. However, it does not. You can actually look into it. The pendulums, they say matter attracts matter. That's actually not the truth. It does not attract each other when you have the two balls hanging from the pendulums. The Michelson Morley experiment proved that the earth is not spinning and it's not a globe. The Sagnac experiment, the Bedford Level experiment, you yourself can go out with a camera or telescope. They told us when we were children that ships sail over horizon, and that's why you can't see them anymore. But provably the angular resolution of the ship is just too small for you to see, and the outward opacity of the horizon, the atmosphere out there, you get a high zoom camera or a telescope and you get them right in. That's a line of sight issue. That's not, you can't see over a curve like that. That's not what telescopes do. So I mean, everything that they tell you is a proof of the globe is actually a proof of a flat motionless earth. I don't like to use this as a proof, but if you're one who believes government documents, there are all kinds of government documents from NASA, from MIT, from the Army, from FAA, from the pilots. It all says treat the earth as a flat and non-rotating earth. There is no curvature. It's a fact. You can never find or see curvature. So in terms of saying it's I don't really care if it's a in terms of toroidal fields. I'm all for that. I'm definitely a cosmic egg type of person. But in terms of the land, the Bible has over 200 passages saying that the earth is fixed and immovable. It only says one thing about anything with being a circle, and it calls the earth a circle. The earth definitely is a circle. It's not a sphere, though. That's a completely different thing. So in terms of, my opinion, it's definitely that. I live in a way that is definitely I'm open to things, so I'm definitely open to hearing your side of things. I didn't think this was going to be a debate show, but I'm all for it if that's what we're about. But I'm definitely listening to learning different stuff. I mean, have you ever heard of Santos Bonacci?
No.
No. Okay, you should definitely look into him. I think you and your audience would like him quite a bit. He's real into the astrology stuff, astrotheology, ancient religions, and he is a geocentric person, flat earther. I think it's probably more your speed in terms of and you want to talk astrology and all that. He'll definitely light you up with that and give you something to think about. And astrology works much better in a geocentric situation, but to each their own. I'm not telling you you're right or wrong. We're all on a journey on this together. I do know, however, that we're being lied to, and it's definitely not a sphere. And if it's not a sphere, there's other stuff they're lying about, and I definitely know they're lying about it. So we can talk about the deceptions if you like. We can talk about, like I said, I'm fascinated by all this, ancient cultures and stuff. So tell me everything you want to let me know about the Vedics and about cosmology, and I love astrology. So teach me, please.
So basically, I have gone through some of the ancient cultures and things like that. I was not aware about most of the things, basically. After I started to speak to peoples across, then I understood there are people who are believing earth is flat and some other stuff, sort of things like that. For example, there is um, the the Jewish people who believe in that Kabbalah kind of thing. There is something called the tree of life, flower of life, tree of life, and things like that. In that thing, it is basically coming into an understanding that there are several layers of the existence. Like there is some stars are there, like that. It is actually fixed on the top of the things, like sort of things like that. But when it comes to the Vedic understanding, it is definitely not flat earth. None of the Puranas or anything is saying the earth is actually flat. Rather than it is actually talking more about an earth which looks like a globe, basically. So it's like and even there is something called the Lahiri Ashtavargam. In that, it is actually saying the earth is actually on the nebula, which has a 23-degree Celsius, the 23-degree tilt on in its own axis. So that is also coming in terms with the whatever the modern inventions are coming out. But I don't know much about the Kabbalah kind of thing, but the Bible definitely says the earth is flat, and the Quran as well. But the Mayan culture, I saw it's they are not believing in flat earth. In Vedic understanding, the earth is not flat. Yeah, this is what I understood.
Yeah, the Mayans definitely believed flat Earth. All the ancient cultures did. I mean, you can go back into their books again. I'm not 100% sure on the Vedics, but it's my understanding that there are some. I don't know about all. I don't know about the different sects, but there's definitely people within the Vedic mindset that are flat Earth believers, and that's like I said, to each their own. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm here to learn about stuff. And
Yeah,
talk about.
no. It's like
I'm in for
I'm also
sure.
not here to teach or I mean, I'm not here to preach or whatever. I'm here to listen to what you are trying to say to me, like,
Yeah,
so
sure.
in just a discussion, whatever our understanding and things like that. And whatever I studied, I am just sharing it with you. That's all. There is nothing
Oh, for
is
sure.
solid rock or whatever. It's just open. Like so, one more thing I would like to say: there are temples in India, which is Navagraha temple, like nine planets temple. What happens is like there is nine planets that is actually roaming around the sun. That is the structure in the Navagraha temples. That is nine planetary temple. So in that case also, they are not saying the Earth is actually flat.
Well, that's
So
not entirely true either.
yeah.
First, the planets. We don't know what planets are. They used to be called wandering stars. They still basically are called wandering stars. So planets are lights in the sky. You can zoom in on them with a telescope and a high definition camera, a lot of these things, and you do not see what you see when you look at what NASA shows us or these other space agencies. You'll see these lights in the sky. They are pulsating orbs of just what looks like plasma. There's sacred geometry going on in there. There's all kinds of stuff happening with these lights in the sky that we know as planets. So 100%, the sun's there. The sun, in the flat Earth model, you can call it. The sun and the moon rotate above us within the firmament. That's where everything is at, basically. Nothing is billions of miles away. Space, as they explain it to us, isn't what it is. We feel that there's a dome over us. Some people say it's an infinite plane. I'm a dome person myself. I believe the firmament. We can do some sort of testing, not much. We can't get above more than 130,000 feet at this time, civilians. Some people can launch rockets up. They've launched a rocket up 73 miles, I believe. And it's gone straight up. It hit this denser sort of thing up there, stopped moving completely, turned on its side and started moving really slowly. And then it had cameras on it. You could see the level horizon at that altitude, and then you can see the moon. The rocket was launched in Arizona, and the moon happened to be over New Zealand and Australia at that time. So if the Earth being a ball, Arizona would be the top of the ball, the Australia and New Zealand would be the bottom. There's no way you'd be able to see that moon. But there you can see it on video, 73 miles up and just off, to the side there. That being said, that's about, the furthest that a, civilian can get. We know NASA's lying, and all day long you can see them with their CGI nonsense. I think a lot of what they do, they are a satanic organization. They were founded by Satanists, occultists, pedophiles, and Nazis. That's not even debated at this point. Everyone who quotes go to space, they are all Freemasons and into some pretty dark stuff. So yeah, I don't trust anything from these space agencies. They're all working together too. It's not just, we've been sold a lie about a few things, and it doesn't really go into that so much. But these countries are all working together. There's nobody, that there are no fighting going on. The stuff with Israel and the Middle East, that's a real thing. That's a deep seated thing. That's not what I'm talking about though. But these the whole China, any country that's one, signed on to the Antarctic Treaty, and two, has a launch capability. You can't trust anything that they tell you because they are all working together. Fact of that is the Antarctic Treaty themselves, they've all signed this treaty. They've all kept it despite all the other nonsense that they claim to be upset about. There's a reason for that. So yeah, in terms of the what you're talking about, there's statues other places, and there's working sundials. By the way, it's called a sundial because the sun's moving, not the earth. Those go back thousands and thousands of years. The whole heliocentric thing didn't really even start up until the 1500s, and then really came to be during the early 1900s, I say, when World War I and II came to be. Here in America, they were still teaching the geocentric, the
No,
flat earth.
there is one thing I would like to say is that the anything can revolve around anything in a relative perspective.
Yeah, here all I'm saying is that we don't know what's going on up there. We're told certain things, and verifiable, we can pick those things that we're told apart. So I'm just saying that if it's what they're telling us it is, that's proven not to be true. If it's something else that we don't have any idea about, I'm all for that. I don't know, but it's definitely not the dimensions they're telling us. And like I said, I don't trust NASA. You don't trust governments. These people are not our friends.
Then who are our friends?
I think that we are our friends. That's it. I don't know you. You don't know me, but you're my buddy now. I trust you over anybody in the government, that's for sure, because I know that those government people are all liars. Here, real quick, I'll throw it down to you, and this is the same for you and anywhere where you're at. All governments are corporations. They all have corporate numbers. It's called a Dun and Bradstreet number. Local governments have them, state governments, city governments, and then countries, cities, states, all those things. The United States is a corporation. Everyone who is a politician in that corporation works for that corporation. You and I, the citizens, so to speak, we have no rights. That's very, very clear. Here in the United States, they tell us we are a free country. That's not the truth. We have a limited freedom and limited liability because everything is a contract. Everything is under commercial law here, basically. It's presentment and offers of contracts is all anything is in life here. And that's basically how things work everywhere. And it all ties into the Vatican and the royal families and all that nonsense, which we're not going to necessarily get into right now. But, for me, I don't trust them. So that's what I'm saying. We all have to talk to each other. We have to be friendly to each other. We have different ideas and whatnot, but that really means nothing because we're all lied to and we have to make sense of those lies. So, like I said, I trust you over anyone from a government or, the corporation telling me they're my friend when I know all they're doing is lying to me.
So, so let's come back to your flat earth thing. Like right now, it's somewhere around 10:32 here. Okay, what is the evening? Like this is night actually for me. What is the time there for you now?
What time is it? It is 10 a.m.
How do you explain this? If it is a flat earth.
Well, I would be able to explain it perfectly if I had a visual aid for you, but I do not have that handy. So let me explain to you what the flat earth is, and so we're not confused. If you Google flat earth, you are going to see a bunch of lies. It will take you to the Flat Earth Society. That is a disinformation website. Nothing on there is anything that any real flat earthers believe. It's a gatekeeping website. You search a picture of the flat Earth, you'll see the flat Earth and then the other round planets. We don't believe any of that. Space is not real the way they explain it. So that right there is different. You have to wrap your mind around it. But again, if you have the model that, I could show you the working model, you'd be able to understand it better. Essentially, it is, you got to think of the Earth as a giant lake. We are a low part in the land. There's water all around it. That's the oceans. The continents are the islands in the middle. And then the surrounding area is what we call Antarctica. It's not a tiny ball at the bottom of the globe. It, however, is the highest point on Earth. And that wraps all around us. Any direction you go from the middle is south. The middle is the North Pole. Once you pass the North Pole, you're now going south. You can go east and west in a circle that circumnavigates. As long as you have to keep correcting north, you're going in a circle. Okay, so you can do that on a ball. You can do that on flat Earth. You can't, however, go south and then come back up north. So if you go south from South America, you're not going to go up and around the ball and come up, in Australia. You can never do that. No one ever has done that. Someone will say that they've done it, but their route does not in any way reflect that, so they didn't do it. So what is the flat Earth? Again, Antarctica surrounds us. It is a level, all water lays flat and even. It always seeks its level. It finds the shape of its container, so it's always laying flat. So that's what this is. We're on a plane. Perhaps we have a dome over us. I believe it to be so. The dome does not have to be a physical thing, so I'm not saying that we're under glass or anything. I think it could be cosmic energy. It could be, the toroidal fields, what we think of as the Van Allen radiation belts. Perhaps it can be something to do with that. I don't know how far these things go. It's impossible for us to ever find that out. But what we can find out is what's measurable on our feet, and then some things in the sky we can measure as well, like people who send up hot air balloons, for example. You can send up a hot air balloon to 130,000 feet. Once you hit about 80,000 feet, you no longer see stars. You can see them going up, but once you hit that, you'll no longer see them. That's very interesting. I can't tell you why that is, other than stars are 80,000 feet and lower. I have no proof of this. It's speculation, but that's what you see when you launch these balloons up there. So yeah, in terms of what the flat Earth is, you got to think of it as a domed area. We've surrounded by ice. That is Antarctica. Now, again, we can't go to Antarctica. No one's allowed to go there. You can go there on a couple day visit for $30,000, and you're allowed to go escorted to certain places, but you can't just go and walk around or whatever. You're not allowed to fly over Antarctica for any reason. You can't do it. And the last person who tried was Captain Cook, and he ended up going 60,000 miles around. Took him 3.5 years, and he had to stop, and he didn't even make it all the way. So that's the last person who tried to circumnavigate Antarctica. So in terms of the flat Earth, we now what's under it, I can't tell you. The deepest hole ever dug has been 7.5 miles. No one's been able to go down further than that. So I can't tell you what's under it. I can't tell you what's on the other side. Same thing, I can't tell you what's above us, after a certain altitude. But if I can't, I don't think anyone else can either, because these are the people who were saying you have to trust NASA. Again, NASA's Satanist, pedophiles, blah, blah, blah. So you can trust them if you like, but I'd rather not get into that dark energy. I'm all about something else. So, that's to me what the flat Earth is. It is a solid ground. It's not moving. It's not spinning. It's not a certainly not a spinning ball, but not, at least not the dimensions they're telling us. Now, again, if they're telling us something else, then that's you got to think of what that means. NASA and these other space agencies are telling us, oh, well, we've seen it, we've measured everything. So right there, if they're saying it's bigger or smaller, then either way, they're lying to us.
No,
The
my
measurements
question,
have to make sense.
my
I'm sorry, go
question
ahead.
is, my question is simple. Right now, you are at 10 o'clock morning. I'm at 10 o'clock night.
Yeah.
10 o'clock night. How do you explain this if it is flat?
Exactly. So what happens is, I wish I had my thing. The sun and the moon are above us, and it is a perfect clock. That's what astrology basically is. It's a clock. It tells you when to plant, when to harvest, when to do different things. That's, the Bible explains all of this. All these ancient texts also explain it. So anyway, the sun and the moon. So they are above us in the firmament. They do not go under us. They just go in their patterns they go in, and they go in circles above us. You can do all of that. You can measure them, all of that. So right now, it's, where you're at, it's dark. Where it's at here, it's light. The sun is 10 a.m. So it is a little bit after, it's 1 o'clock the East Coast. So it is probably heading towards the Midwest right now. And then I'm on the West Coast of the United States. So in 2 hours, it's going to be noon. The sun will be directly over where I'm at right now. In a few hours, it's going to keep going further and further away until it gets over to where you're at. And at that point, it's going to be dark here and, light over there. The sun just goes around and it's, circles above us, as does the moon. It follows the path. The sun and the moon will lap each other every 28 days. The moon keeps track of essentially the weeks and the months. They used to be called months. There were 13 of them, 13 months of 28 days. Now there's 12 months of 30 days and so forth. So our clock is, our calendar is different only because people play with it. They try to throw us off center. Right now there's daylight savings time. We don't observe that here in Arizona. So 12 o'clock is 12 o'clock for us. So once the sun is overhead, it's 12 noon here. Without the visual, I really can't show it to you, but the map that most people use, and they don't they don't think about it, but it's the Mercator projection map is not correct. There's several maps that are closer to the correct map. If you know what the UN logo looks like, that's the more accurate map. That's called the azimuthal equidistance map. That's the one used for navigation. That's the one used on the all the navies and air forces and so forth use that map. But the way that everything's laid out it makes a lot more sense when you see it on that. For listeners, you can look it up for yourself. Type in DITRH into YouTube. That is deep inside the rabbit hole, but it's DITRH. That will bring up David Weiss's channel, and he has great flat Earth videos. He's got a working model. You can see the sun and moon in there. He's got an app that shows you the zodiac and how seasons work and everything else. So, if you have flat Earth questions, that is the place to go. Unfortunately, I said I have nothing to show you because I'm on my phone, so I can't show it to you as I'm using it. But
if
that
you
would
want,
be.
I can share the screen. I can take that.
I have no idea how to do that, but we can give it a try.
Yeah.
Let me try to open it real quick.
I can share the screen.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and try to do a share screen, and we can.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, can you see now?
Yes, I've got your screen here.
What do you want me to Google?
Um, go to go ahead and try just flat Earth DITRH.
Flat Earth?
DITRH. And then look for the images and we'll see what comes up.
Flat. Couldn't see. It's all conversations.
Oh yeah, just look at the images. That's all we need for right now.
There are no images. Which one? This one?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that, but
This one.
not exactly, no, but that's
This one.
that's getting closer, but no, not exactly. Hold on one second. Let me see. I don't really know how to use Zoom, especially on my phone. Yeah, I don't know how to pull up mine to show you. Yeah, that's
This
not
one,
really
bro.
gonna work. Yeah, keep going. You're almost there. That's an interesting map right there that goes more into the cosmic egg thing. I'll explain that real quick if you want to zoom in on that.
1 second. Okay.
All right, so the inner circle there, that is what we know as our world essentially.
Okay.
That's where things are at now. That white around it, that's Antarctica.
Mhm.
Those extra continents that are outside of the Antarctic lands, those are speculations based upon a map that was found back in the 1800s. It was found in Hawaii. It was a Japanese map.
Mhm.
And they had different lands out there, and they actually had another ring out there past that, with even further lands out. Speculation, of course, because we have no way of verifying that, but that's, it's a real map that was found back in the 1800s. If you can get out of that, I did see another photo that we can look at that might be the one to look at. Yeah, right there, that one there, that shows the
This
clock
one.
face. No. On the left side.
This one.
Yeah, there we go, right there. So yeah, that's the app face that he has. That is the working model. That is a clock essentially. It goes around, it follows the sun and moon, it shows you where their positions are going to be at, what times. It basically will show you how the stars work, how seasons work. So when you can see on there, sort of, if you make it larger, there are 3 circles on there. There's the Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Capricorn, and the one in between them is the equator. The sun and the moon basically go around in circles above us. They traverse inside and out, into and out of those lines, basically. That's how you have the seasons: the Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Capricorn. What is further out in the right now, for example, it's May. The inner north areas, we are having our summer. The later on, it's going to be winter here. It's going to be summer for the southern hemisphere, and that's just because the sun is further out, and it's out, heating up the southern lands. It's lower in the sky for us because it's further out. When it's higher in the sky for us, it's because it's right above us, for our summertime. So basically on there, you can see, with better pictures, obviously, you can see, where you are on the map. It tells you how time zones work, and everything on that basically is a good tool to have.
So yeah. So if somebody start a ship from here and goes, what happens?
Well, if you go to that white area where the numbers are, that is Antarctica.
Mm-hmm.
So you basically go to Antarctica. Now, we're not allowed to go to Antarctica. According to the Antarctic Treaty, no one is allowed to independently go. You have to first get permission from your country, and then you have to pay a bunch of these fines and fees basically to get approved. It can cost up to $2 million, and then every country that's part of the Antarctic Treaty has to approve you to go. Then, only then, if they approve you, then you can go. However, you're not allowed to go anywhere that no one else has already never been. So if you want to say, hey, I want to go on this route, wherever, they're going to tell you no. Someone has to previously have stepped foot there before you're allowed to go. That's for environmental reasons. So one, you're not allowed to take anything with you. You can't take fuel. You can't take a dog sled team. This is you on your feet walking. So we don't know what's there. So if, let's say you're taking a ship to Antarctica right now, you sail out there, no matter where you go, automatically Antarctica is 150 to 200 feet above the water. So you can't just sail and then get there. You have to get there, and then you have to climb this ice shelf. That is, the Antarctic basin. That's the barrier. People call it the ice wall. It's just the ice shelf, of Antarctica. So once you get up there, you have to climb 200 feet. Then you have hundreds of miles to go before you actually hit one of the bases that are out there. Then after that, you have thousands of more miles to go before you see anything else. And then there's mountain ranges out there. Some people say that they're, bigger than Everest. We don't know because we're not allowed to go and check that. But that's the sort of crazy nonsense that's going on out there. So once you hit Antarctica, odds are you'll never make it there without permission. But if you do ever hit it, you can go, but your compass doesn't work, so you have no idea what navigation is. Obviously, GPS won't work there because that's all run by the government, by NASA, and they're not going to have anything that works out there. The only thing that's out there basically are, so they tell us, are bases. Again, we don't know that. So yeah, your guess is as good as mine. Now, some people have said that they've gone through little inlets and they've made it, all of that. There's books written on it from the 1800s. The Iron Republic is one story. Admiral Byrd, who was a, probably the most decorated, explorer in the world, he claimed to have gone beyond the poles in the 50s, and he found land as big as the United States, untouched by humans, resource rich, mountains full of coal and iron and this and that. It's a little odd that no one ever went and got it. Plus, all the oil that is going to be there. So, we're not allowed to go there. There's a reason for it. They claim it's to help the penguins, but that doesn't make any kind of sense. We have penguins in other places. They cut down the Amazon constantly. These are all things that we need for a healthy earth, but now we can't go to the ice. That's a little strange. There's a bunch of people, I don't necessarily get into this so much, but there's a lot of people who claim that there are extraterrestrials there. There's all that crazy stuff with the Nazis. They moved there in the 30s, they had a base down there, New Schwabia or New Schwabaland. And, they had a base down there. They were doing a bunch of anti-gravity stuff down there. We know that's all been declassified. There's a story, and again, there's no way of us, verifying it. There's a story that the Nazis went down there and they made contact with extraterrestrials and brokered some sort of a deal with them. And basically, they've been down in Antarctica and they came here and, Operation Paperclip, they did the space race with us. There's all kinds of stuff going on, but definitely there's mysteries in Antarctica. So in terms of your question, I know it's a long answer, so sorry, but the sun and the moon, they rotate around us just as the hands on the clock do. And essentially, where it's daytime, it's daytime, where it's nighttime, it's nighttime. It's not because the sun is going over a ball, it's just going too far away for you to see it any longer. And then 12 hours behind you, you have the sun or you have the moon, and it's over you right now, pretty much.
So this Antarctica is like a never-ending Arctic. I mean, never-ending ice. That's what you're saying.
I don't know if it's never ending, but it's from what you or I would be able to do. If, let's say, you file paperwork and you get approval to go to Antarctica, and they can tell you, okay, you can go here and do whatever you'd like to do here. If you go there and you head south and you keep walking south, where you come up at, if you ever happen to come up anywhere else, it's not going to be anywhere that you're familiar with, is my guess. Now, that's speculation, 100% that's speculation. I can't prove it. But that's because we are not allowed to go there and do that. So you can't go there and say, okay, well, I'm just gonna walk until I hit the other shore. You're not allowed to do that. The guy, a few years back, I think his name was Colin O'Brady, he claimed to have gone to Antarctica and done that. He went off the little area, and this is the route he gives. The little area off of South America, which is essentially just a peninsula, and that is also thousands of miles long. That's essentially the size of the United States, just that little peninsula that you go to. But just on that area, he went in a circle, and the circle he did shows he went, did not go to the other edge. He just went in a circle and came around and went up to the other side. On this map that you're looking at right now, that would be the equivalent of, let's say, if you look at where the, I don't know, I'll just say the 7 and 8 are on, where the numbers are, and you draw a circle around that. He maybe went to the 7 and 8, and that was the circle he did. So yeah, that's not, it's not possible to keep going. I don't believe so anyhow. No one's ever done it. There's never been a record of anyone doing it. The people who claim circumnavigation, when you look at what their actual routes are, they never go all the way around. They just go and then make a circle and come back. It's never all the way around. No one's ever done it at all. So I can't believe it to be true.
I am not sure about that. Okay. So coming back to one of your point, like the stars are just patterns. As per the Vedic astrology, the patterns varies. That is called Ainamsham. Okay, that calculation is called Ainamsham, and it happens in some couples of years. Like that, those patterns varies, and yeah, that is what modern day science also came out with.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You at a point of discussion, you have said me that the planets or the stars which we can see on top of us are just patterns which are repeating.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, no, not they're not patterns. I'm saying you can see patterns within them.
Sorry?
You can see patterns within the planets and stars when you zoom in on them, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they are patterns and what have you. I'm saying that you can see them within when you zoom in on them.
Okay. Okay, so here is this, and let's go through your chart. Basically, would you like to explore that a little bit?
Say that one more time, please.
Would you like to go through your birth chart?
Yeah, let's do that for sure.
Yeah. So you got that document which I have shared with you?
Yes.
Is that with you?
It's here in my email. I can't look at it. Look at you at the same time.
I can just share my screen. So this is the document which I have sent you. So one more thing, in our discussion, we came across the word called occult, right?
Yeah.
So according to tantric understanding, we can reach that particular point that is beyond ourself. And this thing, the diagram which we can see on the computer monitor, which is being written based on the Vedic astrology, can help us to reach that particular point. So that is the entire use of the Vedic astrology. I mean, is astrology is not about predicting future or reading past, or it's not just about calculating the distance between the stars or planets or whatever. It's about a key which can help us to reach our own self. So that is tantra vidya, which means that the self knowledge which we can go through. So what are the clues this is giving? So some people say this is occult, because Aleister Crowley kind of people just came across into this thing, and in that time, in those days, it was entirely against the Christian ideologies, because they people's believed he is with the power of Lucifer. People start to think, because it was not, people were not able to understand what he was speaking, or what is this kind of people speaking, like alchemist, people's those who follows Aleister Crowley, people's those who does the yoga, tantra, and Gnostic Christianity, Rosicrucian Christianity, um, druids, the people who does the druid, and the peoples those who are like, the uh, red Indian peoples. So these peoples are actually seeking something beyond, that is not the physical existence. In Vedas we are saying all these things are existing, still we should not get attached to these things. What we have to seek is beyond, why we are here. And when we reach there, we get amarta, which means the immortality, the power of immortality, or the, in Jesus says it's the uh, it's a paradise. Jesus says it's a paradise, the paradise which is within, because Jesus can understand that, because Jesus was in India, he was a yogi, he was in India and he understood that from India, and the yogis from India, he learned it. And he went back to the Jerusalem and things like where he went in Jerusalem and things like that. There, the peoples were not able to understand what he was speaking. So, I mean, the whatever you can see in Bible, apart from whatever Jesus has spoken, whatever you see in Bible is not, everything is not exactly from Jesus. His books is from some of his friends has written, some of his disciples has written. um, those things has been done from other people. It's not from Jesus. Jesus was a yogi, if we understand him correctly. So this is the Vedic astrology is the gateway to self, the key. So this is how it's so. Okay, so from with this we are understanding who we are, what we are, what and all ourselves are. What is the structure of us? Are we just the body? Are we just the flesh? Are we just the soul? Or are we something beyond? Because we, whatever we don't believe also, we still believe that I exist and you exist. You can't deny that. Whether you
100%.
believe, huh?
I said 100%.
Yeah, that you have to believe. So then what is that existing? That is something which is beyond. So whatever we understand, it is like our senses, whatever our senses, like five senses we have, like touch, smell, taste, hearing ability, like that five senses we have. So, if these senses, whatever we understood through these five senses, that gives us the collective, which is like intellect. So their theories will come, theories of relativity, quantum mechanics, quantum physics, flat earth theory, globe, that thing, and corporates and governments, war, love, drugs, many, many things comes. So we are not those things. We are still beyond. So what is that? So that is what the yogis seeks. Is not about race or color or creed or whatever. uh, it is what is that the reality of the existence, what is that the true real. So let's go through Vedic astrology in that sense, not in the sense, don't take this as a tool to predict past, present, or future. It's about a tool for self-realization. So let's there is a group of stars which is associated with your nakshatra. So let's go through that. I have taken it somewhere. So this is your nakshatra, Bharani nakshatra. Okay.
All right.
The Bharani nakshatra is associated with one of this bird. That bird, which is like why we are associated with a bird is because we are not different from the nature. We are just the part of the nature. We don't have any importance apart from the nature. Like we are not special. That is where the Semitic religions and the religions, which is Druid religions, are actually clashes. So am I sharing your screen? So this is the bird, Shukla Paksha. You are a vulture. You know, this is the bird which is associated with you, which means that you are you. How does it manifest in your life? Is like you have a net or an affinity towards death. You are naturally attracted towards death. This is how it's manifest in your chart basically. Then the Nelly, this is the uh, tree which is associated with your nakshatra. These gooseberries are there in your. Is that there in US?
Yes.
So this is the tree which is associated with you, and this is how the nakshatra or the star group which is belongs to you is looks on the sky. So the your gana is human nature. So it's like there is three ganas. One is asura, then another one is human, and another one is deva. So your gana is human nature, which is how does it manifest is like um, you don't like humans are not like to cheat others, like their gods does it and the demons does it. So this is like you don't like to do that thing to others. So this is something strongly manifest on you. Like if you look at on the Bible also, if you look at on the other stories also, there demons also cheats and the gods also cheats, but humans generally don't cheat. And rajasic nature, you have a rajasic nature which is like you are interested in masalas, spicy food and kind of things you might like.
I do love spicy food.
So your Buddha is earth. So this is like you will do anything like uh, you will hide many things inside on you in order to sustain uh, any kind of relationships or any kind of business or something which you don't like something which you feel like the other person will get hurt because of the secret which you are holding. You never tell, and even if it is hurting you also, you won't tell. You will hide it inside you. So this is how it's manifest on you, because you are like earth. You know how the earth is manifest. Whatever we does to the earth also, it won't do anything to us. It just loves us. It's like a mother. So this quality you have. Then you have there is a narrow difference with men and women. It's like metaphysically it has a very short difference between the men and women if we seek into inside on us you know
Yes.
So you have feminine nature more. So how does it manifest in your life? Is like you will manifest in a creative way. You will try things and you would like to see what is the outcome.
I'm very inquisitive. That's true. I love experiments.
This is pitta nature. Your nature is pitta, which is like you are like a bit lazy.
I'm very lazy, yes.
So your god, the metaphysical entity, like what we say is like when we say the god, it's uh, not the understanding of the biological understanding of the god. Like it is father. The god says is a father. He creates and destroys and he sustains. So that is not the god here in religions which are ancient religions. The gods are the metaphysical entity in which you can connect to. So your god is Yama. I mean, that energy you have is Yama, and the Yama is the god of death. So you can easily connect to that god of death.
That makes sense for the kind of job I do.
Was that?
That makes sense for the kind of job I do.
So this is the one of the interesting sexual posture which can create intimacy with you, with your partner. So this is the elephant yoni. The sexual type of you is elephant. So this particular position can create deep intimacy with your partner for you. So this is all about your nakshatra. Now let's go to your chart. Come on. So this is how your chart looks like. In the Tanu Bhava, there is ascendant. In Dhana Bhava, there is Saturn. Saturn is the planet of hard work. So how does it manifest in your life is like you have to work very hard in order to earn money. For you, it is not that easy to earn money. You have to work really hard. So we saw that there is a little laziness is existing on you. If you work against that, you can make out. Then Sahaja Bhava, there is Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter is staying. So which means that Sun is the planet of self, and Mercury is the planet of war. Venus is the planet of um, blessings in life, and the Jupiter is the planet of wisdom. So all these four planets are staying together on Sahaja Bhava. So your motivation mostly is the whatever you are getting motivated to, you will do anything to get there.
Makes sense.
And Bendu is Mars along with the Ketu. Yeah, you usually fight. So if something is not getting along with you, you will fight, you will stand for that. And Moon is your Rendra Bhava. So Moon is like the thing which makes problems in your life. Is Moon, the planet which is associated with the femininity or mother or women. So these things are making the problems in your life. And Karma Bhava, there is Rahu. Rahu is the planet of obsession. So if you that means that you will get obsessed with whatever you have. Like if you are lazy, you will become super lazy. If you become hardworking, you will become super hardworking. So this is the Rahu, the obsession does in your life. So these are the interesting things. So now you are at the age of 38, which means that the Rahu is the thing which is staying on your planet, on your birth chart now, which is the planet that is getting activated on your planet right now. So what happens is that the very obsessive nature of you is actually start to manifest in these times. That is something which you will have to be a little aware of.
So now's the time for me to get into projects, is what you're saying.
So the 5-phase Rudraksha, the Rudraksha is a seed, which is believed that the tear of Lord Shiva. So if you wear that 5-phase Rudraksha, it will give you more thing on yourself. It will help you to feel more grounded.
Okay.
So these are the things all about your chart. So I will send you the link on my website, which you can go through. What and all the chart is talking to you. I mean,
Pretty
if you
interesting
want,
stuff for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, send it
So
to me. I'd love to take a closer look at it.
do you have any questions regarding this?
Do you have any questions? No? No, I'm pretty good. What was that last thing you were saying about the 5 one? What was that?
What is that?
You said the last thing you were saying about
Okay,
wearing the
it's a
5.
Rudraksh. I will show you how it looks like.
Okay.
Mm. So this is the seed, Rudraksha. Okay. So this seed, if you wear this thing, you can actually, this can actually help you to get grounded.
Okay. All right. I know what those are.
So this is actually belongs to the Lord Shiva. So the Shiva is the Lord of occult, actually. The more self-centered Lord, Shiva. So the Lord, he is like he sleeps with the corpse, he smoke weed, he kill people, he save people, he is a hardcore lover, he is he does everything in its extreme. If he is loving, he is loving so deeply. If he is in a crazy mode, if he is killing people, he kills so deeply. So he is in everything in its extreme.
Say how shocked I am.
I'm a Shiva fan, I think. Yeah, pretty accurate stuff. I'd say. I'm very interested in this. Definitely take a deeper look at all this stuff. Very good.
And these things are not saying the earth is flat. So we will have more discussion on flat earth sometime later.
Sure.
So anything
What I'd
else
like to get in with you more than the flat earth, though, is really about these governments and this nonsense that they're doing. But we'll get into all that stuff later.
God. Somebody's not trying. Don't ever call me again.
What's that?
Oh, I said all this nonsense with the governments going on. That's all the real stuff we should get into, because that's the stuff that you and I are. Doesn't matter what we believe in, but ultimately we're the enemies here.
Mm-hmm.
And people have got to start getting together before it's too late, because it's getting to be pretty late in the game right now for their plan.
So what are you are a musician as well, right?
Well, I mean, I am a musician. I'm signed with Universal Music Group. We do all that stuff, but I don't really care about any of that stuff, to be honest with you. That's not I do that to, that's my job. But aside from that, what I really care about, I'm a traditionalist. I'm a family man. I believe in having kids, having your family, and protecting yourself, raising your own family, having your own land, and just being a man of the land, or you want to put it that way. But yeah, the wife calls me a dork, but she'll give it 6 months and she'll be singing a different tune, I'm sure. But yeah, it's crazy stuff in this world. But yeah, I'm a musician. I'm a death metal vocalist. used to be a A&R person with Universal Music and Sony. I was also the head of legal for a financial company. As a corporate person, but now I avoid all that stuff, and I'm retired, and I enjoy flat Earth and conspiracies and learning new things every day.
Yeah.
And cats, because as you can see, I mean, come on.
So, do you want to say something to the people who are listening to our talk?
Well, I love to say thank you for doing this. Like I said, I love learning new stuff, so this is definitely a new thing to learn. I'd look into it more. So thank you, and listeners out there, thank all of you. If you guys have an interest in death metal, you can look up VORZUG, VORZUG, vorzug.info. If not, don't worry about it. Don't really care either way. But what you should look into is, just be safe. Learn if you don't know your neighbors, get to know one another, because we are in for a ride. We have a bunch of wild people in charge of this world, and they've been riding for the past 120 years that they want us all dead. So probably best to not let that happen. Best way to end that.
Yeah, thank you for joining me for the podcast, and probably we will connect again for another podcast, some more much more deeper discussion on flat earth theories and other conspiracies.
Let me get you in touch with someone else who can give you the whole rundown, and I think that you'll enjoy that presentation.
Yeah. Okay, then bye.
And if I can, I'll try to get you in touch with Santos too, because that guy, like I said, he's an astrotheologist. That guy is all kinds of deep when it comes into astrology and theology and ancient religions and stuff. So I think you two would have a good conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you are doing it, yeah, happy to do that.
Yeah, thank you a lot. Like I said, that's it's very interesting. I'd definitely take a deeper look at all this stuff.
Yeah. Okay, then bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to my podcast. You could connect with me in arunsyoga.in, where you could see my contact details, including my phone number, my WhatsApp, and email ID. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes.